Hello there, and welcome again to 360 View, where we look at all the sides in the news. My name is Olufemi Omotayo. I'm your host for this show, and I'm glad that you've joined me again as we welcome back again to our show after the break. Hope you enjoyed your holiday, your Christmas, and Boxing Day. So while we celebrate, please don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment. So while you were celebrating and there's merriment everywhere, unfortunately, there was sadness in some part of the world, especially a family where you know the lady was killed, her life was snuffed out, and it happened on the very day of Christmas, which was on Sunday. Um, So I'm just going to give you all the details in this unfortunate incident. What we pray that we never experience it again. Just get to know about what happened, what transpired, and how, especially for us, the living ones, how we can, protect ourselves from this kind of scenario. So if you look at your screen, if you those who watch, you can see a screen grab, a quick grab of the inspector who did the who perpetrated the evil. His name Drambi Vandi. Is an assistant superintendent of police, and he has been in the force. He's been um, in the police for 33 years. So by and large, you can say that the man has about 2 years more to stay in the police. Now, as an assistant superintendent of police, um, you are not supposed to. I actually don't think you are supposed to be part of the people uh, who patrol or who mount roadblocks, which is one of the things that the police have been accused of um, for a long time. So details have emerged that this man was not supposed to hold. So he was actually holding a um a Kwashkinov. That's the one we call the gun that we call the popular gun that Nigerian police carry around, Kalashnikov. And we were told that he was not supposed to have that rifle. He was supposed to be entitled to hold a pistol. So he didn't. He was not holding a pistol. He was holding a long rifle. Not only that, he was not supposed to be on that patrol team. He was there. That's another infraction. And ultimately, the man um, in his the very first thing the man said was the fact that um, um, he had cocked the gun to threaten someone earlier. So he had threatened someone earlier where this incident happened. Where was that? In the Ajah area of Lagos, which is like the under bridge. I'm just going to give you all the details shortly. Uh, but the Ajah under bridge, that's where they put their patrol team, where they stop and stop vehicles. So, what is the essence? What was the purpose of this stop and search? Now, in the case of this unfortunate incident where he released his bullet, uh, because apparently it could be a case of accidental discharge. He had cocked the gun. He didn't put it back to safety mode. So while flagging down this vehicle by the lady that was killed, Omobolanle Raheem, who was coming from the church, actually with her husband and kid, with her family, you know, um, and then in the process of flagging them down, it discharged the bullet that hit the lady, and then the lady was rushed around to hospital, and then she was confirmed dead. Now, you can see the disaster that Nigeria is can be in all ramification. This was a disaster, and it could have been avoided. So, and starting with the story part of it, actually, the story of this lady is really, really pathetic. Is It can be very emotional. You know, this man called Randy is attached to the Ajiwe police station in Ajah. You know, and the same Ajiwe police station was where we learnt of another killing of a young man, I think in early this December or late November, not too far ago, So it is now, like a recurrent thing from that particular place. Who knew whether it was this same man that killed that other young man? So we don't know, but in this case, at least he was apprehended, and the case is being treated. Now, back to the lady, because that's where we should actually look at. The victim's husband, that's Gbenga Raheem, said, on December 25, my wife, nieces, nephews, and cousins who had come for the holiday all went to church. On our way back, my wife said since it was Christmas Day, we should take everyone out. So we went to a supermarket at Abraham Adesanya, then to Domino's Pizza. After that, we headed towards Ajah to do a U-turn to come back to Abraham Adesanya. When we took the U-turn, we saw policemen stopping some vehicles. As we approached them, they said we should stop. And in the process, we heard a loud sound on my wife's side window. All of a sudden, I saw blood gushing out of her chest. Immediately, I ran out. My sister-in-law, who was also with us, ran out and held the policeman. He cocked his gun at her too. Talking to him was pointless, so I went to see if anything could be done. I saw my wife gasping for breath, and by that time, my sister-in-law brought the policeman into the car and pushed him into the front seat. So, and then he said we drove to a hospital where they said they couldn't handle it. So that's first mistake in Nigeria. In Nigerian mistake, you know, the hospital couldn't handle it. We eventually took her to Granville Hospital where she was confirmed dead. So you take people who are in critical situation to Nigerian hospital and they will be referring you, say, we don't treat this, we don't do this. Why not, provide basic access to health, first aid, first apply pressure, and let's save the life first before we talk of other things. So they couldn't do that. In fact, the news got it was that they were thinking of taking the lady back to mainland because they couldn't fix her. And the island Ajah axis has I mean, some of the most expensive landed property in Africa, but we don't have access to emergency situation services that can rescue lives. So it's painful. This is, and if you look at the human side, the lady obviously didn't deserve it. She doesn't. Bolanle, a graduate of Olabisi Onabanjo University Agoye, she recently moved from litigation practice to property law. Um, she was the CEO of Croton Homes, and then she was the co-founder of City Building, a real estate and property development company. She worshipped with the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Olive Tree Parish in Banana Island, where she functioned as a Sunday school teacher. So you can see someone who is really active, has a life ahead of her. And if you look at all the aspects of the story, the mother herself has talked about how she grew up, did everything, unable to hold back the tears. She wailed, I will not see my lawyer again. She has been taken away from me. She was pregnant with twins. She died with her glory, leaving a 5-year-old baby behind. That's the mother wailing the loss of a daughter. Continuing in tears, she said, on Monday, my granddaughter came to me and said, Grandma Iju, I saw you yesterday crying. Was it because of my mommy? I said, yes. Then she came again and told me that Jerry said that what God cannot do does not exist. So grandma, stop crying. And she kissed me on the neck. You know, just imagine the innocency of that child, 5 year old. You know, that girl cannot see her mother again. Broken for life. Eh, The mother said it's not easy. A child that I have been training since childhood. I suffered over her. I hugged oranges. There is nothing I did not do. Now, the mother is also a widow. You know, with everything done, this is where we are. Policemen are not supposed to be holding these big rifles they carry around. It is totally unexpected, unnecessary. Carrying this rifle, and then probably there has to be a way they reverse that. And then the problem also with primary healthcare center. So we don't have a place where people can go to in emergency situations like this. It talks about a broken society, really. And as we go into the new year, we hope that we'll find leaders in all spheres of our life, national life, not just centrally, but in all spheres, the governorship, House of Assembly, everywhere, people that will be willing to put things in place. And then we hope that justice also will be done to Omobolanle. Thank you for listening to this episode, and see